So the chocolate availability in the candy machines here at the studio at the warehouse
Oh yeah, that's right.
Pretty impressive. You got dark chocolate. You got M&Ms out there.
Yeah, Liz picked them up. We used to have candy machines in the stores, little peanut shaped candies and stuff, but that's not going to become available anymore. Plus, the damn machines were breaking, and more cities wanted to charge me like a yearly fee so I could have a fucking candy machine, and I'm just like, eh. So we've got one that still works, and Liz decided, and I like how this woman thinks, that there should be candy in the office, but just in tiny little portions. So that's not like a big bowl in the break room where you're just sitting there shoveling it into your face.
Yeah.
You gotta yank out a quarter and get yourself just a little snack.
Yeah.
So yeah. I like how she thinks.
Well, it made me think of the family Easter celebration. Mm-hmm. So I have to tell you, I just learned recently that I'm a PANK. I'm a professional aunt, no kids. P-A-N-K.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yes, I saw that. And I suppose if you're an uncle, that would be a punk. I saw that. They didn't talk, because there were plenty of guys that, uncles that are just as involved. I thought it was sort of fascinating that the article did not mention uncles whatsoever.
Yeah, so I'm a PANK.
Yeah.
And I'm really actually a great aunt because my sister, I don't have children. My sister's got 3 kids that are actually closer to my age than she is.
Yeah, but why aren't you a grandaunt? Because why does it go? I mean, like it's like grandmother, great grandmother. Okay, you don't go, but some people end up calling you like a great aunt, but no, you would be like a grand aunt or a grand uncle. We seem to skip that, and it drives. One of these days, I got to Google. I got to sit down and go down the fucking Google black hole to find out why that gets skipped, because it bugs me.
I never noticed that before, but that's a really interesting point.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Well, so I have all these great nieces and nephews, aged 6 to 12. Ooh. And so they're cute. And so I did, there's a good story here. So I went and got big, very cool looking plastic eggs, and I put $5 in each of them and some candy, and then, some little toy things. So like the 2 oldest girls got like Burt's Bees, lip stuff and whatever. But the little girl, she's 6. Okay. And I remember a couple of years ago, and she's very cute kid, blonde, blue eyes, just freaking adorable. And I'll never forget my husband asking her like 2 Christmases ago what she wanted for Christmas. And here's this little cherub, and she goes, a fart gun, like in Despicable Me, right? So I'm trying to figure out what to put in her egg, and I found a fairy fart whoopee cushion that does fairy farts. Okay. So all the kids open up their stuff, and they're all thrilled and whatever. And Anna is just like beside herself, and we blow it up for her, and we're showing her, but she's having a lot of trouble. She doesn't weigh very much sitting on it or whatever. So we're trying to kind of help her, and she's giggling her head off or whatever. And at one point,
best thing ever,
she's bouncing. And my brother, in an effort to help her out, goes and sits on it and breaks the whoopee cushion. It pops, right, because he's too heavy. There was that 45 seconds, Colleen, where the kid's face and everybody in the room, she starts to get red, and it's looking like she's going to start bawling her freaking head off, and everybody's like holding their breath. Oh, yeah. And then her dad goes, duct tape, Anna, we've got duct tape. And so we got it going again, and I'm getting her another one, actually. Okay. Yeah. But the hilarious thing about it was the whole family, even the other kids, were like, oh, fuck, here we go, right? And so now, of course, for the next 36 hours, I'm pestering my brother, sending him fairy emojis, and and we've now called it Easter Scandal 2019.
So in other words, though, the line there for me too is also, anytime anything breaks now, someone's just going to yell, "We got duct tape!" Duct tape. I know, but that she'd never use it on a sex toy, though. That would be bad.
Okay, that would be bad. Okay. No. But it was the fairy fart massacre, is what we've dubbed that. Yeah. God. So anyway. Just thought that was pretty funny. Oh,
so what do we got on the Great Northern Sexcast for this week? Please, any more Florida Man, or did they take a break? Did they take a break? Okay.
There's some good stuff. We've got dueling dongs here. Okay, so it's a story. We'll post this on the Great Northern Sexcast page. And so there's these 2 guys. It's the story of 2 women dating guys with huge penises. So the average one, by the way, when erect is 5.16 inches. But just 5% of erect penises are bigger than 6.3 inches. And both of these women, one of them is 27 and the other one's 25, are dating guys with 8 plus. Okay? Okay. So one of them has a really hard time. And this couple, and this is actually, I mean, I guess it makes sense, but they've been on and off for 5 years because his penis is 8.5 inches long and very thick. And she said it's even thicker when it's flaccid. Anyway, you know, they had been dating for a while and he hadn't warned her about it. And then they got to have sex and they already were pretty into each other. Well, long story short, they've broken up a few times because they get into arguments about it, but they love each other. They can't live together. So they have a terrible time. It's like they can't stay away from each other, but this is a point of contention.
Yeah.
So there's that. Then the other one, they've figured it out. And the guy's a little bit older than the gal. And she's all happy. They have safe words. And they're really respectful. But I just thought it was really interesting that a couple fights over that. Like, and they can't figure it out.
You know, we sell products. And there was a fundraising thing for a product where you can... where it doesn't do much if someone is too wide. But if someone's too long... You know, cock rings, silicone cock rings, you can stack them up to stop, you know,
a guard?
To guard, yeah. So you can do that. I mean, it's you know, products do exist. I mean, they do, I think, oh God, is it Screaming O or another company? But I mean, honestly, you could stack up the stretchable silicone cock rings and create a backstop.
Okay.
If it's too long, there's not too much that you can do there, but length is very easy to take care of, and and then the conversation too, but like I said, the width thing, that's going to be an issue. I mean, you have to be sexually compatible regardless of how much you love each other.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, if you're too long, silicone cock rings.
Okay.
Stack them up. Sometimes some of them are wider. And it's certainly a lot less expensive than the things that are made for it, because then you can choose exactly how much you want to block off.
That's really good idea. Okay, perfect. So, dude on his honeymoon flight, there's a company called EasyJet, and from what I can tell, they're European, because I don't think we have it here. No. But this is where all the stories that we get, they always happen on if an airplane is involved, it's EasyJet. So I'm just saying that could be our.
Well, I mean, for God's sakes, it's called EasyJet. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So this guy got completely hammered, and he downed 4 pints of Stella, which, quite honestly, that's basically 4 beers. I don't know. Anyway.
Some European beers might have a slightly larger alcohol content.
Oh, that's
depending on what's going through there. So
true. Started when he was told he couldn't smoke his e-cigarette. And then it absolutely snowballed into one of those belligerent things that included, but not limited to, homophobic comments toward a gay flight attendant, blah, blah, blah. And he ended up arrested. And they are, he's going to be charged. And we're not really sure if he's still married, actually.
Honestly, if it's only 4 beers, this guy really needs to think about his alcohol stuff, because it's only between 4.8 and 5.2 alcohol content.
Okay,
so that's not very much.
That doesn't seem like
unless he pre-drunk.
It'd have to be. I would think.
I'm pretty sure I would be drunk at 4 beers, but I don't think that it'd be enough to change my personality enough to that. To not really. Yeah, the person's probably just an asshole to begin with. Okay.
Yeah.
Blamed it on the booze because that.
Yeah, for sure. So the royal wedding of Meghan Markle and Prince Harry was cute. And
I know. Yeah, I think we talked about this. I just happened to wake up I realized it was on, and so I watched it, and it honestly was adorable.
Mm-hmm. It was. They are adorable.
Yeah.
And as we all know, she's pregnant. Mm-hmm. And so now, you know what, they go completely batshit when royal babies are, you know, over there. And so there's all the speculation, not, you know, only about what it's going to be, the sex, whether or not it's going to be twins. I mean, they have bookmakers on this shit over there. Okay. But the speculation is that she's not going to do the infamous, or famous, I should say, famous pose outside the hospital with the newborn. And they are saying that her feminist views may prevent this for a couple reasons.
In other words, she's not displaying the child like a prize cow.
Yes, probably that.
that she successfully is a breeding human. To go that way. And she may not want to buy into that whole glam. I saw an article recently about women hiring makeup artists and hair and nails people to come into the hospital so you can have either a glam birth or leaving postpartum. And I mean, honestly, I don't care one way or another. I think it'd be an effing waste of time and money. But if that's going to make someone feel better, I can't. Part of me says I can't. I wish they didn't have to need that, but I'm not going to deny them that they would feel the need to walk out of the hospital and look as good as Kate Middleton did. I mean, the amount of pressure, once again, that we're putting on women to look a certain way, even after, birth, for God's sakes, where you just squeezed out a kid. I haven't squeezed out a kid, but I've been there for 9 of them. Mm-hmm. There was nothing glamorous about this. It was the most amazing fucking thing in the world. But glamorous was not part of it.
Yeah. Okay, so couple things before we finish this particular story. I agree with you. The glam birth, I think, is completely outrageous. The postpartum, I could kind of see, because you've just been inhabited and now you're yourself again. So I could almost see wanting something like that. But that said, I'll never forget Priscilla Presley talking about, not wanting Elvis to see her, without her eyelashes and all that kind of stuff. And that goes back to what you just said about how sad it is that women there's so much pressure. But I thought this was kind of funny. This one guy named Omid Scobie, he said posing on the steps would most likely go against her feminist beliefs. Given what we know, the optics of a totally glamorous, picture-perfect moment hours after giving birth are not quite in alignment with her worldviews. And that's true, and that's fine. And she may forego giving birth at this place called the Lindo Wing, which is where they've all been born. But they're not sure. She is concerned though a little bit about safety stuff. So she's not old, but she's not young.
She's over 35. She's officially a geriatric mom.
Is she over 35?
She's 37, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, well,
and you go through. But honestly, the other day I saw a picture of her looking adorable and still wearing like 4-inch heels.
Good for her.
And I don't know how I used to wear heels a lot before I broke my ankle, but I'm pretty sure that had I decided to give birth, that I would not been able to manage the two. But then simultaneously, because then again, she's a professional actress too is used to wear, So there is that. She's got skills. She has.
Gal's got skills.
Yeah, excellent heel skills. Mm-hmm.
So, in other Easter news, there's a vagina egg. Okay. Mm-hmm. So you know where I'm going with this?
I think so.
It's this company that specializes in edible representation of ladies' downstairs areas. And they now have a special cream egg flavored variant of their famous labia-shaped treat. Retailing for $16, the vagina egg is filled with sweet cream that's very similar to Cadbury. Maybe they should have called it Cuntberry. Yeah. I do not know. No,
we had someone send us, or we attempted. There was some chocolate that we carried, but it never traveled well. There were little cream filled chocolate penises and some boobs and a few other things. But the problem is that they don't travel well. They don't store well. And then, you get them in and then they just, and then here's the thing. They didn't taste very good.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. And so therein lies the difficulty with carrying more body-shaped chocolates.
Yeah, I'm really picky too about my chocolate.
Yeah. Now, the penis gummies and all that, yeah, those are pretty good. Those are reasonable.
Yeah. Yeah, those are easier. Well, so I don't know if we'd call this guy a furry. I'm not entirely sure. But basically, he identifies as a dog and considers himself a human pup. He wears a furry outfit, barks at strangers, and licks his friends.
No, there is puppy play. This is probably this is sort of a combination of puppy play and furry, more than likely. I'm sure soon someone will give it its own name, and want to do that. That just makes it difficult. Obviously, has a very difficult time actually relating to other human beings.
Well, here's the quote. His name is Kaz James, by the way. He's 37. He says, "I didn't ever feel like a human. I always felt like a dog that was really out of place."
Yeah, this person has had a lot of trauma.
Yeah. Yeah. "I was known by my friends for hello to them by grabbing hold of the collar of their shirt in my teeth and biting or licking them."
No, no licking. No, sorry, no.
Yeah.
No. I do, although I do like that moment when you see small people, little toddlers, and then like one sibling doesn't want another sibling to have something, so they'll like lick all the cookies or something. The moment they figure that out, you just realize how, be like, what's going to gross somebody out? So yeah, no licking. No, ick. No.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So there's a park in New South Wales called Booti. Booti. Okay, which is great.
I want a T-shirt from there.
Well, you can do better. You can go on Instagram, #BootyBooty. Okay. And now everybody is going up there and stripping naked and taking pictures of booties. And it's an Instagram sensation. And just, thousands and thousands of likes. Some people put captions like cracking day and blah, blah, blah. This was created as a national park like 30 years ago. But it's really, really pretty. And the only 3 things that are prohibited in the park named Booti are generators, pets, except assistance animals, and smoking. So...
Okay, this is one of the best Instagram accounts for, like, booty ever.
Yeah.
Because it's just sort of fun and not particularly, like, overtly sexual, even though there's a lot of booty.
Yeah, isn't that great?
Oh, there's some boobies. There's some booty, boobies, booty, boobies. Tats? Okay, what's on this guy's tat? Oh, this one guy has a really, really big bear on his chest, and it says, "Lucky you."
Or not. Yeah. Okay.
I like myself some ink, but there doesn't seem to be any cohesiveness to the ink here. See, I think there needs to be a story to your ink, not random. I mean, depending, unless you do random. It's hard to do random well when it comes to ink. Having a plan, I think, is a good idea.
Need a plan. Well, and I mean, it's just stupid ink, like stuff that's really stupid looking. Like, how is that just not embarrassing, especially when it's huge?
This is Booti, New South Wales. Okay, Booti National Park. Booti. There's all sorts of booties. Tigers in at Muhammad Booti in Pakistan. There's a lot of booty out there.
Yeah. And Fred's like, "Did you say booty?"
Booty.
Fred, the studio dog.
Booty. Let's see.
So, are you done looking at booty yet?
Well, I found some. Those are mostly women, and now I found some really good-looking guys.
Perfect. I'll have to check it out later. So, a woman gets married. Okay, let me back up.
Okay. Beep.
Yep.
Okay.
Allie Jones had a baby when she was 19. Okay, that's fine. Then she gets married, and she already has a little girl, marries this guy named Damien, and then they get married, and then they have another kid, right? A son. Well, motherhood and all this kind of stuff, they split. So then she goes and she has a relationship with another friend, guy, right? And then they get into a weird, kind of spot, and they break up. And then somehow they all three were having a drink, and they were joking about a threesome, and then they tried it, and now the woman and her two exes are a polyamorous throuple.
So in other words, what she really she needed, I mean, like some people say, I need a wife. I mean, they're married, but then the wife needs a wife to get shit done. She actually just needed two husbands.
Apparently.
And then, so neither of them have to deal with her full time.
Yeah.
And they each probably have skill sets that are separate. That works for me.
Well, and they are polymogamous, I guess you'd call it, because they're not allowed to be emotionally or physically intimate.
Oh, yeah.
Outside.
Well, most people are when they're in a that sort of deal. I mean, I honestly don't have a problem with a relationship like that is truly equal. When you start talking about people with like a dozen wives for status someplace, that just means they're property. There's a difference.
Yep. No, it seems to work for them. So good for them. Sex dance calms angry bird. Why is this funny? Well, the story in and of itself is funny. And then
that's a spectacular headline right there.
Well, it happened. So this guy is a farrier. And if you don't know what a farrier is, it's guy, they put shoes on horses. Yeah. And he knows the outside and, this kind of, well, a friend of his, a neighbor said they were being pestered by an aggressive pheasant. And so they went to Steve and they're like, hey, what do we do? Steve the farrier. And he's like, I got this. So it was mating season. So he went out and his friend was saying, look, every time I go outside to ride my lawnmower or anything, this bird attacks me. So Steve says, okay, fine. He dresses himself up. He had a G-string, and then he put some twigs in his butt cheeks to look like a tail feathers. And he got out there and was wagging his butt at him and flapping his arms. And the bird, here's this quote, I think he was shocked into dismissal. The bird took off and was never to be seen again. Come on, that's
Was
funny.
he holding a beer when he said, I got this? Because I'm not. Okay, because I have a mind that can picture stuff.
Right, I know. That's why you don't watch violence.
Yeah. And this is I'm trying to decide how much I put faith in this actual. But then again, how do you, even if you're sitting around drinking a lot of beer, how do you, this just, the thought process to get there wouldn't.
I think it's fantastic.
I will come and scare off.
It's breeding season.
A freaky pheasant by dancing a freaky dance. Almost nude with sticks.
Yeah, trying to be a pheasant. And his quote says, he said, to be fair, the pheasant looked shocked more than anything. I just think that's so funny. Come on. We're talking about it.
I know. See, the thing is you just... Okay, so this is the person who shoes horses, and then someone...
He shoes a bird.
Yeah, and then he did...
Shoo, go.
And then his friend said, this is the person, and they're right. It is the person to take care of it, which is... But I'm pretty sure this is not in any way, shape, or form where they thought it would go. The turn...
Oh, I'm sure this was a very, very wide left turn. I'm very sure of it. So I need to tell you my own bird mating season story. Because something happened to me. Okay, so my very first house, that I ever bought was when I was in California, and I lived in a really cool area in northern San Diego County called Fallbrook, and it's where all the avocado groves are. So it's rolling hill, beautiful, right? And we had this little house that was up on. We had 2 acres, and it was like set kind of nestled in the hill, and then. Our lot sloped forward, so I had a giant garage. So that top of the garage was kind of below the front deck. Okay, if that makes any sense to you. All right, so I'm home by myself one day working, and I was a real estate agent, and it was quiet, and I'm sitting there banging away on my computer, and I hear this woo, woo, woo. And I'm like, and it sounded like a person saying woo. Okay. And I go outside and I got really scared, Colleen. I was creeped out. And this was before cell phones. My quote unquote cell phone at the time was wired into my car. Okay. It was a car phone.
I had
Did you
one
have
of
that
those
too?
Yeah.
Okay. So this woo, woo, and I don't see anything. And I call my boyfriend at work. I'm like, dude, something's going on out, blah, blah, blah. He's like, well, just kind of keep the phone nearby and, whatever. Finally, I hear it again and it gets louder and louder and louder and whatever. I finally look out the window and there's a fucking roadrunner, okay, on the driveway. And he's like prancing around and he's sort of waving his wings and he's kind of doing this thing where he's sticking his head out and he's dancing. And he was like showing off for a female. Okay. So then he does this hilarious. Now I'm trying not to laugh because now I want to watch and I don't want to scare him away, and then he gets up on top and he does the whole thing. Woo, woo. I have never laughed so fucking hard in my life. Roadrunners are hysterical when they are trying to get laid.
There will be Googling later.
Oh, you have to.
There will be, yes.
But I thought a psychopath was coming to kill me and it was just a horny roadrunner. Which was a huge relief. It was.
Good thing there was no coyote around.
Oh, God. Yeah, oh, God. Best cartoon ever.
Honestly, the different ways that different species and even humans have evolved just to pass on their genes is just fascinating.
Yep.
I mean, obviously at one point, some sort of bizarre, very, very, very primitive creature did something a little weird, and it made the other creatures look at it. And then it just went from there.
Yeah. Isn't that what humans do?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, but I was like...
That's how we got the fucking Kardashians.
Yeah.
Hello?
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Okay, this is genius. Italian woman marries herself. Laura Missy
probably just wanted the big ass. She wanted all the presents.
Basically said if she hadn't found Mr. Right, she was going to marry herself on her 40th. So she did. She said she spent $11,400 on a ceremony. She walked down the aisle in a traditional gown. She had a cake, a single figure on top, and she went off on a solo moon. And she went to Egypt, and she's happily married to herself, but she is still open to a partner if she one day finds the right man to have a future with. She had a fairy tale wedding, in her own words, without a Prince Charming. Thoughts?
Have a party if you... I honestly, this is not the first time I've heard of something like that.
Yeah. There was a Sex and the City episode about that.
Yeah. I giggled. I still remember eons ago. I think I was in my early 20s, and I ran across some article or something about that, about, living your life and not... the amount of women that this author knew, that women were living in boxes waiting to get married.
Yeah.
Hey, this is a really nice China pattern, but they were waiting to get married before they bought it. Mm-hmm. Or they'll move places and they need bookshelves, but they'll wait because everyone their whole life was waiting in boxes to get married. And I went, oh, that is so not me. Yeah. I just read this. I went, huh? It was really sort of bizarre.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Just waiting.
Oh, for sure.
No.
I think it's interesting. And, I think it's awesome. Okay. So last week we talked about the 25-year-old sex worker at Sherry's Ranch who is offering sex robot therapy and, trying to make sure that you don't prematurely label yourself as a digisexual. A coworker of hers has become a quote-unquote living sex robot, having invested, you're sitting down, so it's okay, $500,000 in surgeries to turn her body into the ultimate living sex machine. Her boobs went from D's to G's. Nose job, cheek, chin, lip filters, butt lift, and blah, blah, blah. And she is the quote-unquote self-described sex terminator. No sex robot has a chance. So we've got one branding, they're branding themselves.
If she honestly spent $500,000 on elective surgeries such as this, she's obviously very, very good at her job.
I would think.
I am not sure that if she was that good at her job that she had $500,000 to do that. I'm not exactly sure why she felt the need to go through the possible dangers of that many surgeries. I mean, the complication risk or infection could have just been awful. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. I wonder what she charges now. I mean,
I think there had to have been, there's got to be an ROI on it because it's, I'm sure she's doing pretty well. Yeah, was it this, just a few minutes ago, we were talking about the cookie licking thing?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just no licking. Yeah. No licking. No. Yeah. I hate licking.
Okay. Well, an Australian appeals court just ruled that repeated flatulence targeted at another individual is not a form of bullying or assault. Clearly, this person has never smelled my dog's farts because they would probably, change their minds. But
I mean, there are people that have gastrointestinal issues and cannot handle the flatulence. But I would think, I mean, if you were to go up to someone and pinch them, that would be repeated. Why, I mean, I know you're not touching, but you are forcing someone into an unpleasant situation.
The suit was brought by 56-year-old David Hinkst, and he is an engineer, and he brought the case against his supervisor for constantly farting toward him, demanding $1.3 million in damages from his former employer. The court upheld an earlier ruling stating that even if Hinkst's allegations were found to be truthful, breaking wind does not constitute bullying. Hinkst remains defiant, says he will take his case to the country's high court, and apparently...
I can't imagine why that would not be harassment. I mean, if it depends on how they were able to document what was going on. Because, I mean, it just seems... I mean, yes, do I think it needs to go to a court case and all that sort of stuff? Probably not, and all that sort of stuff. But do I think the guy's probably right that he's being harassed? Yeah, he is. Because that's just, yeah.
Okay, so apparently he moved out of a communal office space to avoid this guy's flatulence, but then he would come into his small windowless office a few times a day to fart. So that's intentional, But why the company didn't get a handle on that shit? Yeah, so where was HR?
Yeah, that seems. I mean, that is her. I mean, and if you're coming, I mean, no one needs to be bugged that much. I mean, there's no reason. I mean, obviously, the guy's probably not going to other places and doing it.
Yeah, I mean, that's bullshit. And the company was not ruled negligent, but I think that they mismanaged that for sure. So Jelly Belly, the guy who created that, David Klein, is now doing Spectrum Confections, which is CBD oil in 38 flavors of jelly beans.
Oh, we've been doing, Fantasy Gifts has some CBD products in several of our stores now, and massage oils and gummies and a few other things. And, a lot of times I wasn't sure. I'm like, does it work with us? And I realized that, yeah, it does. I mean, the product for pain relief and lube and different things, it really is something that complements our other products. And it's been, they've been doing quite well.
Okay.
We just moved a display out to our St. Louis Park store, Burnsville, St. Paul. I'm not sure. I think everyone has a little bit of it. I'm not sure what's going through there. And honestly, I think it's just going to expand, regardless of whether or not Minnesota in the next 2 to 5 years gets legal recreational pot. We already have some things for medical and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Although honestly, if we ever do get legal pot, they need to expunge records of folks that were nonviolent folks that were for pot.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, that's just
And I don't think that they should have to apply. I think it should just happen.
Yeah.
Because, the amount of fees and paperwork and stuff like that, they have the records. They know who the hell who was arrested for that shit.
For sure. Mm-hmm. For sure. Yeah. No, it's very interesting. Oddly, in my other life, there was a story, and I've twice seen it, but they are tracking and they are finding that real estate values are spiking in areas where dispensaries are. It's kind of interesting. So we'll see how that goes. So the artist Pink, I love what she did. She went downtown bang on internet trolls. She posted a picture of her 2-year-old son and her daughter, and they were Willow and Jameson are her 2 kids, and they were on vacation. There was this pelican that just was, hanging out with them. So she was taking all these pictures, and the kid, the little boy, the 2-year-old, had taken off his swim diaper. She said, I didn't even notice. We were having so much fun with this penguin, and she took a picture. And the trolls were like making comments about his penis and what, stuff about whether or not he was circumcised and all of this different stuff.
Seriously, huh?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And, she said, there's something seriously wrong with a lot of you out there going off about my baby's penis, about circumcision. Are you for real? As any normal mother at the beach, I didn't even notice he took off the swim diaper. And she goes, I deleted it and covered that part because you're all fucking disgusting. I love her. And she goes, and now I'm turning off my comments and shaking my head at the state of social media and keyboard warriors and the negativity that you bring to other people's lives. There's something seriously wrong with a lot of you out there. And, she goes, by the way, here's a picture of the pelican we obviously caught and abused for hours before dangling baby penises in his face. So she just went downtown bang. And then she had a lot of people, stepping up in support. But, what's with the fucking trolls?
There really needs to be, because remember, these are not government sites, which means it's perfectly reasonable for the owners of these sites to kick these people off.
Yeah.
That's not censorship. First Amendment only has to do with the government can't punish you for what you say. Anybody else can punish you if you're an asshole. Yeah. People seem to forget that shit.
Yeah.
Just going through there. And I mean, honestly, a friend posted something the other day that had a cartoon in it, and it got shut down immediately. And yet they can't find the fucking Nazis out there, or the people that are actually harming folks.
I know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. So the last story today, we'll post a link to this, and then you can go look at the photo array. But basically, this gal, her name is B. Hale. She redid dolls to make them more relatable. And she said she started out as a kid. She was like, I couldn't relate to them. So she would add clay to Barbies to give them hips and, stuff like that. And she quote unquote desexualized and repainted dolls. And so she's got this whole exhibit and of them. And you can see before and after pictures that she did. So if you want to check that out, it's kind of cool.
I never understood what to do with the damn doll. I mean, it was really funny. I mean, to me, dolls were I don't know, I'd organize. I never played with dolls. I don't know what that was. Yeah. My daughter had a bunch of them, and when she would want to play Barbie, she had friends that did it. I mean, so they knew how to me, playing Barbie was getting all their outfits together. So, the shoes and the handbags and everything that came with these things, or I would organize the clothes. To me, that was playing Barbies.
Oh, that's so funny. See,
I'm so fucking mutant sometimes.
I didn't understand the doll thing either. My Barbie was tricked out, man. She had like the RV, she had, all the stuff, and she like went places and did shit, and she changed clothes all the time. That was fun for me.
I did not. I know. Although I always enjoyed reading and doing a lot of stuff. I mean, hell, I don't even understand like sitting around playing board games. I just
really
I got friends like, can we play like Candyland Hawk? And then I'm like, immediately let her win so we could be done.
Oh my God. Well, alrighty then. Dolls suck, unless they're maybe sex dolls that are $15,000. So, my God.
Those are the ones that do suck.
And you know what? It's almost May. So, woohoo. Happy spring, people. And we'll be back at you next week.
Sounds good.